Good morning and welcome to our English lesson today. It's a continuation of the Monday's lesson, sentences with similar meaning. And on Monday, I said sentences with similar meaning can be from direct speech to indirect speech, or the sentence can be from the active voice. The sentence can be in the active voice to the passive voice. And I said also sentences with similar meaning can be conditional sentences. Can be conditional sentences, or sentences with similar meaning can also be correlatives. Now, I said if you check your KCPE, your boosters, and check question 16 to question 25 of each KCPE, there is a high possibility that every KCPE question has a question which wants the learner to give a sentence that means the same, and that sentence can either be direct and indirect speech, can be active and passive voice, can be conditional sentences, or can be correlative, and sometimes even quantifiers. Now, I talked of direct and indirect speech, where I said a learner is supposed, maybe you are given a sentence in the direct speech. What is a sentence in the, if I say a sentence in the direct speech, what do I mean? This sentence in the direct speech, we quote the exact words spoken by a speaker using quotation marks or speech marks, or we can say inverted commas. But in the indirect speech or reported speech, there is no use of what? Speech marks. Here we simply report what the speaker said. And you realize that when you are changing sentences from the direct speech to the indirect speech, pronouns change. Like, for example, you say we are eating. For example, we are eating, and then when I change my sentence into the indirect speech, I'm going to say they were. So we is changing to they. I said you go back to the notes and check. Direct speech and active speech, if you don't know tenses, there is no way you are going to change the direct speech to the indirect, or there's no way you are going to change an active sentence to a passive sentence. You go back and check on that. And then in our today's lesson, I say it's a continuation of Monday's lesson. We are going to begin with conditional sentences and how sentences in conditional sentences have. So, for example, someone gives you a question and they give you a conditional sentence, and then they want you to give a sentence that means the same. So, conditional sentences are divided into three. Conditional sentence number one is called the likely condition. Condition sentence number two is called the unlikely condition. Also called the improbable condition. Unlikely condition, also called improbable. And then we have conditional sentence number three, which is called the impossible condition. So we have the likely, the unlikely, and then we have the what? The impossible condition. How do we form a sentence in the likely condition? A sentence in the likely condition, for example, we have number one, likely condition. It's formed by if plus symbol present plus a symbol present plus will. That is a sentence in the likely condition. Now, if we say it is the likely condition, what do we mean? There is a high possibility that whatever you are talking about, or the action that you're talking about in the sentence, in the conditional sentence, might take place. A high possibility. If I say it's a high possibility, it's an 80% chance. Whatever you're talking about in the sentence can take place. Now, example, I'm going to say if I said if likely condition, if plus a symbol present plus will. So I'm going to say if I sing, they will clap. If I sing, they will clap. If I sing, they will clap. So I have I plus sing, and then plus will, which is forming my likely condition. If I sing, they will clap. What does this sentence mean? You haven't yet sung, or the action hasn't taken place. The action hasn't taken place. That means you don't know what will happen when the action takes place. I said if you use the likely condition, which is if plus a simple present tense plus will, if I sing, they will clap. What does this sentence mean? It means you haven't sung yet, so they haven't clapped. And you are not sure if when you are going to sing, they are going to clap. Now, if there's a high possibility that if you sing, they are going to clap, they are going to clap. If somebody asks you to give a sentence that means the same, if a sentence that means the same. If I sing, they will clap. The likely condition. Give a sentence that means the same. For example, this is your question. If I sing, they will clap. Now, if I tell you to give a sentence, or you find this sentence in the exam and they tell you to give a sentence that means the same, what are you going to say? You haven't sung yet, and you don't know if they'll clap. But there is a high possibility that if you sing, they are going to clap. They are going to clap. You haven't sung yet, and so you don't know if you sing, they are going to clap. They are going to clap. But only there is a higher possibility that if you sing, they are going to do what? They are going to clap. It is called the likely condition. The likely condition. If I sing, they will clap. So you can say, I haven't sung yet. I haven't sung yet. Haven't sung yet, but there is a possibility. There is a high possibility. There is a high possibility that if I sing, there is a high possibility that if I sing, they will clap. If I sing, they will clap. If you sing, they'll do it. They'll clap. It is called the likely condition. The likely condition. And then we have number 2, the unlikely condition. How do we form the unlikely condition? Unlikely condition is formed by if. Unlikely condition is formed by if plus a past simple plus would. So we have the unlikely condition, which is also called the improbable condition, formed by if plus a past simple plus would. When I say a sentence is in the past simple, it is simply the past tense of a verb. If I say a sentence is in the simple present, it is simply the present simple tense or the present tense of a word. For example, eat, which is the simple present or the present simple, and then the past simple is ate, and then we have the past participle, which is eaten. So if I say if in the unlikely condition is formed by if plus a past simple plus who, if plus a past simple plus would. I simply mean the past tense of a verb. Eat is the present tense, ate is the past tense, and eaten is the past participle. This is called an irregular verb. Or you can have play in the present tense, played in the past tense, and then played in the past participle, which is found by adding an ed, making it a regular verb. So it doesn't matter which verb it is. Is it a regular verb or is it an irregular verb? If I say it is the past simple, just know it is the past tense of a verb. And if I say the simple present tense, just know it is the present tense of a word. So you form the unlikely condition, which is also called the improbable condition, by use of if plus a past simple plus would. What does this sentence mean? There is a low possibility that whatever you are talking about can happen. I said in the likely condition, there is a high possibility that whatever you are talking about in the sentence is prone to take place. But when you talk about the unlikely condition, or also called the improbable condition, there is a small possibility or a small chance that whatever you're talking about is going to take place. So it is formed by if plus a past simple plus would. For example, if I ate, I will be satisfied. If I ate, I will be satisfied. If I ate, I'll be satisfied. So I have if plus a past simple plus who plus would. And this comes in the exam, especially if they tell you to continue. Sometimes they can set these questions in 2 different ways. They want you to give a sentence that means the same, or they want you to give a continuation of that sentence. So if I say, if I ate, I will be satisfied. The moment you see ate, you just know it is the unlikely condition. Or the moment you see the past tense, you know it is the unlikely condition, also called the improbable condition. How do you form the unlikely or the improbable condition? If plus a past simple plus who, if plus a past simple plus would. For example, if I ate, I'll be satisfied. If I ate, I'll be satisfied. And then they give a sentence that means the same. What are you going to say? I didn't eat. If I ate, I'll be satisfied. I didn't eat, so I am not satisfied. Or you can say I'm not satisfied because I didn't eat. So I said so. What does that mean? I'm replacing them with what? Conjunctions of reason. Conjunctions of reason. And when we come to conjunctions of reason, because, so, as, so you can say I'm not satisfied. I'm not, or you can also say I'm not satisfied. I am not satisfied because because I didn't eat. I'm not satisfied because I didn't eat. And the other one I say I didn't eat, so I'm not satisfied. So I'm not satisfied. You realize that I'm simply replacing with conjunctions of what? Conjunctions of reason, conjunctions of reason. Or I'm not satisfied because I haven't eaten. Or I didn't eat, so I'm not satisfied. So I'm not satisfied. I'm giving a sentence that means the same in the unlikely condition, also called the improbable, where there is a small possibility that whatever you're talking about can take place. And then we have the impossible. We also have number 3, a type of conditional sentence, also called the impossible condition. The impossible condition. Now, we have, I said there are 3 types of conditional sentence: likely, unlikely, and then the impossible condition. In the impossible condition, whatever you're talking about is never going to take place, because the time for that action to take place has passed, and it cannot be reversed. So if the time that whatever that thing was supposed to take place can't be reversed, then whatever was supposed to take place cannot take place. We call the impossible condition. Impossible condition. The impossible condition is formed by if plus a past perfect. The impossible condition is formed by if plus a past perfect plus a past perfect plus would have. Plus would have. You have if plus a past perfect plus would have. Now you are only going to recognize a past perfect if you know tenses. That takes you back to direct speech and passive and active voice. So we say if plus past perfect plus would have. If plus past perfect plus would have. Any moment you see the past perfect, you just know that that sentence is in the impossible condition. Which means whatever you are talking about is never going to take place, because the time that action was supposed to take place has passed, and the time cannot be reversed. So you have if plus a past perfect plus would have. If plus a past perfect plus would have. Any moment you see the past perfect, you just know it is what? It is the impossible condition. Now, that brings us to the question, what is a past perfect? Or how do you form a past perfect? A past perfect tense. We have said tenses are each divided into 4 groups. The simple, the continuous, the perfect, and the perfect continuous. The perfect continuous. Now, a past perfect tense is simply had plus a past participle. It's simply had plus a past participle. And if I say a past participle, it's simply a verb in the past participle. For example, if you say had eaten, that tense is in the past perfect. If I say had sung, my sentence is in the past perfect. That tense is in the past perfect. If I say had played, the sentence is in the past perfect. So it is simply the past perfect is simply a sentence plus had plus a verb in the past participle. Now, example in a sentence, we can say if I had eaten. If I had eaten, I would have been satisfied. If I had eaten, I would have been satisfied. I have been satisfied. If I had eaten, I would have been satisfied. Now, any moment you see a past perfect, just make sure you continue to your sentence plus would have. You continue to your sentence using what? Would have. That gives you the impossible condition. If plus a past perfect plus would have gives you the impossible condition, And if somebody says an impossible condition is whatever is talking about, it can never happen, because you can't reverse time. Time and tide waits for knocking. So if I had eaten, I would have been satisfied. Give a sentence that means the same. I didn't eat, and so I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't satisfied. Or you can say, I wasn't satisfied because I did not eat, because I did not eat. Just remember to add conjunctions of reason, conjunctions of reason. Conjunctions of reason tell us why something happened. They tell us why something happened, or the reason as to why whatever happened did happen. So if I had eaten, I would have been satisfied. Give a sentence that means the same. You are going to say, I wasn't satisfied because I didn't eat, because I didn't eat. Or you are going to say, I did not eat, so I wasn't satisfied, so I wasn't satisfied. So you just remember the impossible condition, the unlikely condition, also called the probable, improbable, and the likely condition, and the likely condition. Now, that having been said, that you realize that these conditional sentences, there are positive conditional sentences and there are negative conditional sentences. Okay? So if you say, if he had eaten, if he had run fast, let's say, for example, if he had ran fast, he would have won the competition. He will have won the competition. If he had ran fast, he will have won the competition. Now, you have here, if he had run fast, he would have won the competition. Look at my sentence. My sentence is negative. What does that mean? This person did not run fast. And since they didn't run fast, they did not win the competition. They did not win the competition. Now look at this. If I had run fast, I would have won the competition. Give a sentence that means the same. You didn't run fast, and so you did not win the competition. Or you did not win the competition because you did not run fast, Now, if look at another sentence. If the ambulance service had not responded fast, the patient would have died. If the ambulance service had not responded fast, the patient would have died. The patient would have died. This sentence is what? My sentence is positive. If I say my sentence is positive, it means it has some goodness in it. If the ambulance service had not responded fast, the patient will have died. Give a sentence that means the same. The patient did not die because the ambulance service responded fast. Or the ambulance service responded fast, and so the patient did not die. Or you can say the patient survived, which means the person did not die. The patient survived because the ambulance service responded very fast. So if you are given conditional sentences, especially when they say you continuate conditional sentences, any moment you see a sentence in the past simple, just make sure in the past simple you are going to give would without have. But when it comes to the impossible condition, which means something cannot take place, it's formed by a past perfect plus would have. Any moment you see a past perfect, how do you form the past perfect? By use of had plus a verb in the past participle. When you have had plus a verb in the past participle, just make sure that whatever the continuation is must have would have. Just make sure you make some short notes and then you go through your work. Have a good day.